Hey there, troopers, this is Random Game Channel with a late night update for Starship Troopers Extermination. So, 1.5 was released earlier today, 10 a.m. your local time. At least that's my local time. Haven't had a chance to read through it yet, but let's do it now. So, let's get to it. Let me read it for you so you don't have to. Alright, so gonna check out the post on their website. So let's read it top to bottom. Update 1.5 patch notes. Update 1.5 will be available for troopers to download at 10 a.m. June 23rd, 2025. Today! This patch is a collection of content, performance, optimization improvements, and bug fixes. If you'd like to discuss Update 1.5 with your fellow troopers, do it in the Discord, and there's a link right there. The Federation thanks every trooper who's already delivered valuable feedback from the front lines. Your input strengthens our campaign and helps us build the updates you deserve. Haven't reported in yet? We need every voice in this war effort to drop us a Steam review. Let Command know what you think. Every opinion helps the cause. Moving on to the next section. New features, content, quality of life. 16-player Hive Hunt. The Arachnid menace and their escalating ferocity in defending their nurseries has forced the Federation to escalate our own response. To meet this new threat head-on, the Deep Space Vanguard has approved the immediate deployment of 16 troopers for all Hive Hunt missions. Ah, there's another typo right here. There needs to be a space at the end of the sentence. Anyways, it reads 16-player Hive Hunt. The Arachnid menace and their escalating ferocity in defending their nurseries has forced the Federation to escalate our own response. Hold on, why does this blurb repeat 2 times? Come on. Alright, well, moving on to the picture that they provided for us. This is the picture of the Toad, which I forget what the acronym stands for, but basically there's a nuke inside it. You gotta carry it, so you gotta escort the nuke carriers to the hive cores and blow them up. So I've been watching my friend messing around play a little bit today, and a lot of people don't know how to use this thing. So brief tangent here, but as a gameplay tip, you want to carry this in, and then once you get close enough to, the large column, the large vertical column with a lot of eggs on it, as you get closer to it, equip the Toad, and then somewhere on the midsection there'll be like this highlight on it that you can place the Toad on and set the nuke. And that's how you do it, for those of you that are wondering how that works. So we're returning now to the patch notes. And to support this new aggressive deployment strategy, the Federation has simultaneously rolled out the brand new timer-operated atomic device canisters, or TOAD canisters. The personal det packs have been replaced with the nearly as portable TOAD canisters. These nuclear payloads now require a heroic trooper to carry and manually place them on the Arachnid hive cores to permanently destroy the hive structure. Additional troopers will be required to escort the dedicated nuke carriers to the hive. Also, I wanted to let you know about the Hive Hunt thing, that Toad canister. You can blow it up, and then whoever's around it will all go down with you. So be very, very careful. Don't shoot the damn thing. If you don't pick everybody up, you'll lose. You only get 4 tickets in this game mode still, even though you have 16 players. So, be careful. And also, if you do die, there's a good chance that the bug will also hit the canister, or I mean, I should say the toad canister, as you're dying, and it'll blow up, and you have to go all the way back to the most recent checkpoint, which will be whatever ammo crate that the team built most recently. So returning again to the patch notes, I'm giving a little bit of gameplay tips here while I'm reading. So it says, Hive Hunt has been converted from 4 players to 16 players. Hive destruction requires the escorting of toad canisters into the hive. Next section, Morita 2. Federation scientists are happy to report the arrival of the much anticipated successor to the Morita rifle, the Morita 2. With its many quirks and futuristic aesthetics, the Deep Space Vanguard is happy to begin field testing of this brand new prototype weapon. And there's a little picture of it with a toad canister. Next section. In its standard configuration, the Morita 2 is a powerful burst fire rifle with an explosive underground or underbarrel grenade launcher. With its extended range of weapon modifications, the Morita 2 can be customized for any combat situation, allowing each class to customize their weapon to their liking. Use the fully automatic modification to change the controlled burst fire into a flurry of caseless bullet fire, or equip the experimental plasma launcher to vaporize tigers into mist. This new weapon will be available to all classes upon reaching level 16. Happy hunting, troopers. Next section, Stinging Fury. Unleash a bold new look with a new Stinging Fury supporter pack, a new addition to the Federation cosmetic lineup, available to purchase with Update 1.5. This pack lets troopers customize their gear with a striking new palette for their weapons, armor, and visors. It also includes a unique profile banner and icon to complete your battlefield presence. And they have a picture here of what all that stuff looks like. So PMO wasn't kidding. Does have a lot of colors from that shirt that he always wears to the Q&As. So check it out. Next section, Horde Mode. Rounds are now timer-based, not dependent on number of bugs killed. So far from what I've seen my friend Mezzing around play, it just looks like it takes way too long. So I don't know, give it a shot before you knock it down, right? Next section, Quick Play Filtering. Matches can now be filtered via mission type and difficulty. Now remember, with the quick play filtering, the more stuff you tick, the greater time it may take to find that particular match that you're looking for. Next section, Galactic Front Updates. Intel has been removed as the company ops purchase currency. A selection of company ops will always be available whenever a Galactic Front is active. The selection will change on a 6-hour rotation. Oh, and don't forget, these intel points can be used to, like, customize your company, increase the size, get banners, icons, things like that. But I'll have to look into what all that will look like when I get a chance to open the game. Next section, PC, Steam Deck, Virtual Keyboard Input Fixes. Steam Deck increased font sizing. Upscale and upgrade DLSS4 FSR v 3.1.3a FSR4 on supported cards. I have no idea what that means, but for those of you that know, there you go. Ultra Dynamic Sky is the next section. X11 Dynamic Sky has been added. Next section, Quality of Life. Spotlights. Spotlights have been adjusted to support interactions with more engineer perks and utilities. The Reinforced Repairs perk now provides additional blue health to the spotlights, The overcharge module can now overcharge the spotlights. This will temporarily boost the light intensity as well as allow the light to continue operating even when damaged. Spotlights can now be reinforced and can be overcharged. Resource canisters. Troopers carrying a resource canister will now have an icon displayed on the attack map and on the HUD. It's great for anyone that does use the attack map, but to get a reading on where everyone's at. Sky Marshal and Rico visual update. We've changed the static images of Sky Marshal and Rico to animated video sequences. Using our original character images and voiceover files, we leveraged AI-powered facial animation and lip-syncing technology to closely match their spoken performances. Armory tuning. Rated XXX. The premier anti-Tiger sniper rifle is receiving a few new weapon modifications to assist troopers in their fight against the bugs. The explosive rounds modification replaces the standard anti-material ammo with a high explosive charge, more effective against unarmored bugs and tight groups with a devastating impact against weak spots. And the short scope modification provides the more CQC focused snipers with a short range sight that provides modestly improved handling and reduced sway. Added a short scope 2x sight mod at level 6. Added explosive rounds ammo mod at level 8. Perfect. TW2R split shotgun slug. The slug variant of the split was less flexible than other shotguns. New weapon modifications are being issued to provide new opportunities for rangers to customize their slug sinking antics. The heavy slugs modifications uses heavier ammunition for increased damage at the expense of accuracy and armor penetration. And the short scope provides an improved sight for mid-range pseudo-sniping if that opportunity presents itself. So they added heavy slugs ammo at level 7 and a short scope 2.5 sight at level 8. Cool. Huh. I wonder how interesting that would be to use the heavy slugs. We'll see. The flamethrower. The trusty flamethrower can be a situational weapon depending on the types of targets encountered. To better highlight these strengths and weaknesses, we improved the weapon's hit marker feedback. In addition, we provided a few improvements to the flamethrower overall usability with improved consistency and increased reserve ammo. So added hit markers. Critical hit markers will display when dealing additional damage or hitting a friendly trooper, and resist hit markers will display when dealing less damage or no damage. Flames now pierce through bugs in the area of effect. Slowing effect now applies to firewars and inferno bugs. Ammo increased from 300 to 400. Speedstem Fabricator. The Federation has replaced the current speed stems with a more potent cocktail. Each individual stem will now provide a larger movement speed boost that lasts longer. However, the effect can no longer be stacked multiple times to increase the effectiveness. Movement speed boosts increase from 15% to 30%. Duration increased from 10 seconds to 15 seconds. Effect no longer stacks. Has a new visual effect while speed boosting. Lure grenades. Bugs will now have reduced targeting against lure grenades. While some scientists suggest this could be an example of bugs adapting to our tactics, other scientists suggest the suggestion that a bug can learn is offensive. We are making minor adjustments to lure grenades, because they are already individually effective, but when combined with the Demolisher's barrage, it can be used to easily control entire hordes of bugs. Targeting priority reduced. Max number of attracted bugs reduced from 10 to 4. Nuke Deck Pack. With the reduction in lure grenade's effectiveness, we wanted to provide demolishers with new methods for defensive crowd control and allow the nukes to be used in situational offensive actions. Deployed nuke deck packs will now check nearby bugs. Minimum damage increased from 750 to 1100. Wow. That's cool. Next section is notable bug fixes. So let's get on to it. Known issues. Underbarrel reloads have missing visuals due to LOD issue when using low settings on PC. UI issue when switching weapons. Mods will show as applied when they are not. Entering an MG emplacement when charging the plasma under barrel might break the primary firing sound. Engineers that die with a canister in their back have a permanent icon in the 6th slot. Highlights. Chat messages no longer appear as muted after unmuting players. The DXGI error device hung crash on Intel ARC cards have been resolved. Fix an issue that allowed engineers use the mobile build tool ability to build atop unintended utilities. The player can now pick up inactive shock beacons after planting. Players can no longer ragdoll below the map and get stuck when revived on X11. Console fixes. The AI Trooper's firing sound no longer continues to play while reloading. Client no longer crashes on PS5 when a grenade explodes. DLC pack names now use a consistent format on Xbox. Ejection issue after death on Horde Boreas South map has been resolved for Xbox and PS5. Failed to connect a server message no longer appears incorrectly when a PS5 player joins the party. L2 and R2 buttons now function properly on the company tab for PS5. Objective selection now works correctly on the map for console players. The unnecessary rotate button no longer appears in the loadout screen on Xbox Series X. UI. Addressed issue where the description of show text chat and gameplay settings would disappear. Added a UI prompt indicating detection of Inferno bugs. Oh, that's interesting. Corrected English text display for the handling weapon stat in the loadout screen across all languages. Corrected the, this is in quotes here, equals plus sign or, end of quotes, string in Horde mission notifications for Chinese. FedNet camera overlay now disappears correctly when zooming out or dying while changing view. Fixed an issue where the symbol of N was not fully visible on the quick play filter screen in Russian. What's this? I got a message and a comment from a viewer, which we'll read later. Where was I? Here we go. Fixed audio crackling issue on Boris when playing on PS5. Fixed bug where pinging the mobile HQ on a tech map would create a duplicate icon. Fixed mismatch in player ranks when viewed on different devices. Fixed spacing issue between two strings in simplified Chinese. Fixed untranslated notification for failed FedNet camera secondary objective. Fixed untranslated text when player using the FedNet camera. Excuse me. Next one is leaving a private company with a pending join request now displays the correct prompt. Localize the begin FedNet broadcast secondary objective notification in match. Localize the begin FedNet field report secondary objective notification during matches. Localize the secondary objective pop-up for protect the cameraman during matches. Localize the secure the FOB zone mission to Mission objective text. Is that FOB? Forward operating base? So I was trying to remember what that stood for. Next one. Resolved issue where some parts of the settings menu did not update when changing languages. Resolved issues where users could stack multiple exit game menus from the main menu. Spectator HUD now correctly displays names for all troopers. Suit palette tooltip is no longer cut off. Text in the secondary navigation menu is now accessible via keybinds after mouse use. The image upscaling option now properly displays all available options for the user's device. The option menu no longer opens when pressing the escape key on the select trooper screen. The trooper icon no longer appears incorrectly on the legs when mounting the twin MG emplacement. Translated the smile pop-up from FedNet camera. Translated the smile status icon issued by the FedNet camera feature. Translated zoom menu text for FedNet camera. Trooper count assigned to an objective now updates immediately if another trooper exits the mission. Updated the description for the Underbarrel experimental plasma launcher to support all languages. Next section. Wow, there's a lot. They did a lot of work. Alright, next section is audio. I don't know what this is, but it says AF1VO, I guess, voice over ping ammo 6. No longer plays with a robotic voice effect. Being shot by gunners now correctly triggers ping audio. Crash downship pilot voice line no longer plays twice. Dying while firing an automatic weapon no longer causes continuous fire sound on other clients. Explore music now plays correctly after defeating a tanker. Extraction background music now plays correctly when the team runs out of respawn tickets and no longer overlaps the end of round music or overlaps the end of round screen. Fix an issue where secure the fob zone or landing zone mission announcement would disappear. Grenade throw voice line no longer incorrectly plays when throwing a canister. Music now plays correctly upon reaching maximum threat level in ARC mode. Paint audio now plays properly when being hit by gunners. Plasma Grenadier's name no longer appears cut off when pinged. Scan grenade chirp sound effect volume has been balanced. Didn't know it had one to begin with. Shooting audio no longer continues to play if the player dies while holding the firing button. I was wondering when that would get fixed. So annoying. Trooper icon no longer appears incorrectly on the legs when mounting the twin NG emplacement. Trooper voice lines are now properly muted when voice volume is set to 0%. Voice line for throwing grenades no longer incorrectly triggers when using canisters. Art and animation. Next section here. Attack animation and projectiles of the gunner bug now stop simultaneously when a trooper is close. Light beacons in my cache no longer clips the ground and Hive Hunt AP CM1-1 map. The missing back faces on rocks on Valaka has been resolved. 4 refineries ANC no longer appear overlapped on the M3B AAS Security Outpost 3 map. Sprinting animation no longer continues when crouching while sprinting. What? Sprinting animation no longer continues when crouching? I didn't know you can crouch while you're sprinting. Okay. Stun animation now correctly plays for the Tiger Elite when hit by the Merida XXX. Next section, gameplay and general fixes. Outgoing reliable buffer overflow error no longer appears during matchmaking. Oh, okay. So that usually, for me, it leads to you just get kicked out when you have to matchmake again. Maybe they fix that. Next one. Greatly reduced players being thrown out of bounds and stuck in death loops on respawn. Able to leave the map on south side of Agni Prime has been fixed. ADS no longer breaks the camera upon respawning after dying. Agni Prime Blue Crystal now has correct collisions for players and bugs. I assume that's the large blue crystal that's out in the middle of the field that you can climb on top of. Next one. Agni Prime's invisible collisions near a refinery spawn location has been removed. Barrage animation no longer allows shooting while locked. Bugs are no longer able to clip in and out of the ground. Bugs can no longer hit multiple objects in a single attack. Oh, okay. Well, that's good because that's kind of lame. I get some water. Okay. Where was I? Okay. Cash liquid no longer remains in the weapon slot after respawning from bug-related death. Oh, interesting. I was wondering what that bug was about. Looks like they fixed that. Carried items now disappear correctly after being placed in their designated areas. Crash supplies dropship no longer leaves behind lingering collisions. DXGI error device hung crash on Intel ARC cards have been resolved, which they already mentioned. Demolisher's barrage ability no longer removes movement speed debuff when holding a canister. Dropping a Fennec camera on a Carnage corpse no longer causes excessive blood spray. Engineers should now have a better time building items using the mobile build tool. Ooh, okay. So that's interesting. Maybe that means they increased the amount of time you can build stuff. Or maybe they made it easier to build on the battlefield. So sometimes even small rocks can get in the way. Okay. Enemy camp objective no longer spawns in the lava area near the build zone on Agni Prime. Executing traders no longer consumes team respawn tickets. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Flare smoke is now lit properly and no longer appears black at night. Highlight post-processing now functions correctly with upscaling enabled. Invisible collisions at the top of the tunnel and AAS hospital map have been removed. Oh, okay. Invisible ore canisters destroyed in the refinery can no longer be picked up. Oh, okay. Last first aid stim no longer locks players into holding nothing. I was wondering what the heck that was about. That's happened to me so many times as a medic. I accidentally picked up too many. Yeah. Okay. Light beacon MI cache no longer clips into the ground on high punt APCM11. Lumen HWRT SWRT no longer causes excessive brightness during Ash, Storm, Mutator, and Agni. Melee attacks now deal correct damage to bugs when using the prosthetic servos perk. Thank you. For a while, I couldn't play as a Demolisher because I couldn't punch a drone to death. It just became invincible. That's good. Mobile HQ decal no longer persists after construction is completed. Nav mesh gaps and tunnels on VP CM11 and VP CM11R maps have been fixed. Objective refineries A and C no longer overlap in M3B AAS Security Outpost 3 that I already mentioned. Ore refinery on Agni Prime no longer spawns in an elevated and unintended position. I've seen that before where they just kind of float in the air. Out of bounds, death loop on AAS Valaka map has been fixed. Plasma Grenadier and Gunner bugs now burrow less frequently before attacking. Plasma Grenadier is no longer stuck in a fuel tank on AAS FD Pump 1. Plasma Grenadier now fully unburrows during emergence. Players that joined match with all players muted can now unmute players properly. Players can no longer repeatedly stab speed buffed troopers without consuming charges. Players can no longer build short walls on top of fabricators. Interesting. Primary fire magazine no longer causes underbarrel shotgun to refill when empty. Oh, what? Primary weapon no longer... What? Primary fire magazine no longer causes underbarrel shotgun to refill when empty. That's a really weird bug, but okay. Had to read that a couple of times. Race conditions that disrupted game flow have been resolved. Rock detail on SM Massive Sandstorm Cliff 10 now appears properly on Agni maps. Scan grenade trip sound effect volume has been balanced. Shadow flickering during ADS with scoped weapons on Agni have been resolved. Tanker spray now deals correct damage without requiring perfect positioning. The first utility is no longer replaced when picking up a fourth utility while holding another item. Huh. Maybe that's also responsible for why I suddenly lost use of my medic stim fabs. So that's happened to me. Okay. Thermal charge detonator no longer floats after being melee attacked. The trooper can no longer deconstruct beacon utilities placed inside structures. The trooper icon no longer appears on the legs when using twin engine placement. Geez, a lot of this stuff has been repeated. Alright, trigger buttons no longer stop working after adding a friend from the pending tab. Underbarrel attachment no longer causes a crash when leaving a mission. Underbarrel shotgun no longer regains ammo improperly when emptying the main magazine. Unable to change firing modes while reloading has been fixed. Unable to build or interact after picking up turret ammo in place mode has been resolved. When colliding with a dropship edge while running, the skybox is no longer briefly visible in Agni. Okay, so that's the last of all the updates in patch notes 1.5 for Starship Troopers Extermination. Hopefully that helps you get you up to speed so you don't have to read it yourself. And let me know what you think about the update so far. I haven't played a single game yet. I've just been super busy with work and life, and I haven't been able to get to it at all. Hopefully soon. Alright troopers, you know the drill. Get in there, smash the bugs, and help us win that galactic front. Till next time y'all, hope you stay safe and well, and don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll let you know when the next video is up. And that'll help support me, a small channel on YouTube. Anything will help, I really appreciate it. Catch you all next time, see you in the battlefield.